Picture this. It's Monday morning, the alarm clock blares, and you hit snooze for the third time. You promised yourself you'd start the day with a workout, but the cozy warmth of your bed is just too tempting. Sound familiar? We've all faced moments where self-discipline feels like an uphill battle. But what if I told you that the ancient philosophy of Stoicism holds timeless secrets to mastering self-control and building habits that last? Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardship, it's about thriving through discipline, focus, and clarity. In this video, we'll explore 25 powerful Stoic quotes that have guided thinkers, leaders, and everyday people for centuries. These timeless words of wisdom will help you take charge of your mind, your habits, and your life. By the end, you'll walk away with practical insights to cultivate self-discipline in every area, whether it's your career, relationships, or personal goals. So, if you're ready to stop hitting snooze on your potential and start living with purpose, stay with us. This is more than just a philosophy, it's a roadmap to becoming the best version of yourself. Let's dive in. Now, let's turn our attention to the first Stoic quote, one from the philosopher Epictetus. He famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This simple yet profound statement reminds us of the power of restraint and the importance of thoughtful communication. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoic teachers, lived in a time when words carried immense weight. His emphasis on listening over speaking wasn't just about etiquette, it was a discipline of the mind. By listening more, we gain insight, avoid impulsive reactions, and make wiser decisions. In today's world, where distractions and opinions are constantly vying for our attention, this principle is more relevant than ever. Practicing self-discipline here means resisting the urge to dominate conversations, pausing to truly understand others, and reflecting before responding. Whether in a heated debate, a challenging meeting, or a personal relationship, this quote encourages us to exercise control over our words and prioritize understanding. Start small next time you're in a conversation. Focus on listening fully before you speak. It's a simple habit, but one that can transform how you engage with the world around you. Now let's shift our focus to another powerful Stoic insight, this time from Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the most respected Stoic philosophers. He once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." These words cut to the heart of self-discipline by reminding us where our true control lies. While the world around us may be unpredictable, even chaotic, our thoughts and reactions remain within our command. This quote isn't just about acceptance, it's about empowerment. When we recognize that our strength comes from mastering our internal responses, we become less vulnerable to external circumstances. Think about it. How often do we let challenges, setbacks, or even other people's actions dictate our mood or decisions? Marcus Aurelius encourages us to reclaim that power. By focusing on what we can control, our mindset, our choices, our efforts, we cultivate resilience and self-discipline. This is especially crucial in moments of adversity. Whether facing a personal loss, a professional obstacle, or even a global crisis, this principle holds true. Start by practicing this in small ways. When something goes wrong, pause and ask yourself, what can I control here? Redirect your energy towards solutions rather than frustrations. Over time, this mindset becomes a source of inner strength, helping you navigate life's uncertainties with calm and purpose. Remember, self-discipline isn't about controlling the world, it's about mastering your response to it. Moving forward, let's turn our attention to Seneca, another pillar of Stoic philosophy, and his profound observation on habits. He famously said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. This statement underscores the transformative power of daily practices in shaping who we become. Habits are the building blocks of self-discipline. They are the small, consistent actions that, over time, accumulate into significant change. Think about it this way: excellence isn't a single moment of brilliance, it's the result of relentless, disciplined effort. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that our character and achievements are not defined by isolated acts, but by the patterns we cultivate. For instance, if you want to become more patient, it's not about one moment of calm in a difficult situation. It's about practicing patience every day, even in the smallest interactions. Similarly, if you aim to improve your health, it's not about a single workout or meal. It's about consistently making choices that support your well-being. The beauty of this idea is its simplicity. It shifts the focus from grand, overwhelming goals to manageable, daily actions. By focusing on small, disciplined habits, we create a foundation for long-term success. Start by identifying one area where you'd like to grow. Then, break it down into a simple habit you can practice daily. Over time, these habits become second nature, and excellence becomes a natural outcome. Seneca's words challenge us to take ownership of our routines, knowing that they shape our lives in profound ways. Remember, self-discipline isn't about perfection, it's about progress, one habit at a time. Now, let's explore another timeless insight from Epictetus, who offers a powerful perspective on desire and aversion. He said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not." This simple yet profound statement is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and a key to mastering self-discipline. At its core, this quote invites us to distinguish between what we can influence and what lies beyond our power. Think about it. How often do we waste energy worrying about things outside our control? The weather, other people's opinions, or unexpected setbacks can consume our attention if we let them. But Epictetus reminds us that true freedom comes from focusing on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and responses. Self-discipline thrives when we channel our efforts into these areas. For example, you can't control a traffic jam, but you can control how you react to it. Instead of frustration, you might choose to listen to an audiobook or reflect on your day. Similarly, you can't control someone else's behavior, but you can control how you engage with them. This shift in focus is empowering. It allows us to take ownership of our lives and direct our energy toward meaningful action. When we stop trying to control the uncontrollable, we reduce stress and create space for progress. So, how can you apply this in your own life? Start by identifying areas where you're expending energy on things you can't change. Then, redirect that energy toward what you can influence. This practice not only strengthens self-discipline but also fosters a sense of inner peace. Epictetus's wisdom teaches us that by focusing on what's within our control, we unlock the path to happiness, freedom, and a more disciplined life. Now, let's turn our attention to the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who offers a profound reminder about the gift of each new day. He once said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This quote isn't just a call to gratitude, it's a blueprint for building self-discipline through intentional morning rituals. Think about the first moments of your day. Are they rushed and chaotic, or do they set a tone of purpose and calm? Marcus Aurelius invites us to start each day by reflecting on the simple yet extraordinary fact that we are alive. This mindset shift can transform how we approach our mornings. By taking a few moments to appreciate this privilege, we create a foundation of positivity and focus. Morning routines, when done with intention, become a powerful tool for cultivating self-discipline. For instance, starting your day with a few minutes of meditation or journaling can help you align your thoughts and priorities. Exercise, even if it's just a short walk, can energize your body and sharpen your mind. A healthy breakfast fuels your body for the day ahead. These small, consistent actions build momentum and set the stage for a productive day. The key is to make these routines non-negotiable, a sacred part of your morning that you commit to no matter what. Over time, this discipline spills over into other areas of life, helping you stay focused and resilient even when challenges arise. By embracing Marcus Aurelius's wisdom, we can turn our mornings into a time of renewal and strength. So, how can you start? Begin by choosing 1 or 2 activities that resonate with you and commit to them each morning. Whether it's expressing gratitude, planning your day, or simply enjoying a quiet moment, these rituals can become the cornerstone of a disciplined and fulfilling life. Remember, how you start your morning often determines how you'll live your day. Moving forward, let's delve into Seneca's timeless wisdom on time management, a crucial aspect of self-discipline. Seneca famously said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This statement cuts to the heart of how we often mismanage our most precious resource, time. Think about it. How many hours in a day do we lose to distractions, procrastination, or aimless scrolling? Seneca's insight challenges us to rethink our relationship with time. It's not about the quantity of time we have, but how we choose to use it. This is where self-discipline comes into play. Effective time management requires us to set clear priorities and stick to them, even when distractions pull us in different directions. It's about making intentional choices every day, hour, and minute. For example, instead of allowing the day to slip away in a blur of tasks, we can start by identifying our most important goals. Then we can allocate specific blocks of time to focus on these priorities without interruption. This might mean saying no to things that don't align with our objectives or limiting time spent on activities that drain our energy without adding value. Seneca's words remind us that time is finite, and every moment wasted is a moment we can never reclaim. By cultivating the discipline to use our time wisely, we can create a life of purpose and fulfillment. So, how can we start applying this principle? Begin by auditing how you currently spend your time. Are there activities that don't contribute to your goals or well-being? Start eliminating or reducing those. Then, create a daily schedule that reflects your priorities, leaving room for both productivity and rest. Remember, self-discipline in time management isn't about overloading yourself with tasks. It's about making intentional choices that align with your values and long-term vision. Seneca's message is clear: the path to a meaningful life lies in how we choose to spend our time. By embracing this mindset, we can transform wasted moments into opportunities for growth and achievement. Now, let's turn our attention to emotional regulation, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus once observed, "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." This profound statement reveals a fundamental truth about human nature. Often, it's not the events themselves that trouble us, but how we interpret and react to them. Think about it. How many of your worries stem from things that have already happened, and how many are tied to fears of what might happen? Epictetus teaches us that self-discipline plays a vital role in managing these emotions. By practicing self-awareness, we can identify when our anxieties are driven by imagination rather than reality. For instance, if you're feeling stressed about a future event, take a moment to ask yourself, is this fear grounded in facts, or is it a product of overthinking? This kind of questioning helps us separate rational concerns from irrational ones. Self-discipline also involves choosing how to respond to our emotions. Instead of allowing fear or anger to dictate our actions, we can pause, reflect, and choose a measured response. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions. Rather, it's about understanding them and deciding how to act constructively. Consider this: when faced with a challenging situation, discipline yourself to focus only on what's within your control. Let go of the what-ifs and concentrate on the present moment. By doing so, you'll find that many of the problems you thought were insurmountable are far more manageable than they seemed. Epictetus's wisdom reminds us that emotional mastery begins with the mind. When we discipline our thoughts, we gain control over our emotions, paving the way for a calmer, more resilient life. To put this into practice, start by journaling your worries and categorizing them as real or imagined. Over time, you'll notice patterns and develop the discipline to address only what truly matters. Remember, self-discipline in emotional regulation isn't about eliminating feelings. It's about navigating them with clarity and purpose. By embracing this Stoic principle, you can transform anxiety into action and fear into focus. Shifting our focus now, let's explore perseverance through the lens of Marcus Aurelius. He once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This powerful statement captures a core Stoic idea. Obstacles are not barriers, but opportunities for growth. At first glance, challenges can feel like setbacks, but Marcus Aurelius reminds us that they are actually stepping stones. Think about it. When you encounter a difficulty, it's not just something to endure, it's a chance to practice self-discipline and strengthen your resolve. For example, imagine you're working toward a goal and suddenly an unexpected problem arises. Instead of seeing it as a roadblock, view it as a test of your discipline and determination. This mindset shift is crucial. It allows you to transform frustration into focus and setbacks into progress. The key is to embrace the obstacle rather than resist it. By doing so, you're actively engaging with the challenge, learning from it, and moving forward. This approach requires disciplined effort, as it's easier to feel defeated than to find the strength to persevere. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that the very thing that seems to block our path can become the path itself, if we choose to use it as such. To apply this in daily life, start by reframing your perspective on obstacles. When faced with a difficulty, ask yourself, how can this challenge help me grow? What can I learn from it? By focusing on these questions, you'll begin to see obstacles not as enemies but as allies in your journey. Self-discipline plays a vital role here, as it helps you stay committed to your goals even when the way forward seems uncertain. Remember, perseverance isn't about avoiding difficulties, it's about facing them head-on with determination and purpose. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom encourages us to see every obstacle as a teacher, guiding us toward greater strength and resilience. By practicing this mindset, you'll not only overcome challenges but also emerge stronger, more disciplined, and ready for whatever comes next. Turning our attention to simplicity, let's consider Seneca's profound words. "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." At first glance, this statement challenges our common understanding of wealth and poverty. Seneca isn't talking about material possessions here. Instead, he's pointing to a deeper truth. True poverty lies in endless desire, not in lack. Think about it. A person can have very little yet feel content, while another can have abundance but remain unsatisfied, always wanting more. The difference lies in their mindset. One is disciplined in simplicity, while the other is enslaved by craving. Simplifying life requires a great deal of self-discipline, as it means resisting the constant pull of external desires. It's about focusing on what truly matters and letting go of the rest. For example, imagine decluttering your home or reducing unnecessary commitments. These actions demand discipline because they go against the grain of a culture that often equates more with better. Seneca reminds us that the key to richness isn't in accumulation, but in contentment. By practicing simplicity, you train yourself to find sufficiency in what you already have. This doesn't mean rejecting all material comforts, but rather, it's about cultivating a mindset where external things don't control your happiness. To apply this in your own life, start by identifying areas where you feel a sense of excess or overwhelm. Are there possessions you no longer need? Are there habits or routines that complicate your life unnecessarily? Simplify intentionally, and in doing so, you'll not only create more space but also strengthen your self-discipline. Seneca's wisdom invites us to redefine what it means to be rich. True wealth isn't measured by what you own, but by your ability to live with less and still feel whole. By embracing simplicity, you free yourself from the endless cycle of wanting and discover a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment. Now, let's shift our focus to the power of staying true to your path, even in the face of judgment. Epictetus, one of Stoicism's most influential figures, offers a striking piece of advice. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. At first, this might sound counterintuitive. After all, most of us want to be seen as competent and intelligent, but Epictetus is pointing to something deeper. The idea that self-discipline often requires us to prioritize our growth over others' opinions. Think about it. When you're committed to a goal, especially one that challenges you or takes you out of your comfort zone, there will always be people who don't understand or who may even criticize your efforts. The temptation to give in to their judgments can be strong, yet this is where self-discipline comes in. It's about keeping your eyes on the prize, even when others might question your choices or methods. For example, imagine you're learning a new skill like playing an instrument or starting a business. Along the way, you might make mistakes or look inexperienced to others. But if you let the fear of judgment stop you, you'll never grow. Epictetus reminds us that the path to improvement isn't always glamorous or understood by everyone. It's about being willing to look foolish in the short term for the sake of long-term progress. To apply this in your own life, start by identifying areas where you've held back due to fear of judgment. Are there goals you've avoided pursuing because you're worried about what others might think? Remember, true self-discipline means staying focused on your vision, even when it's uncomfortable. By embracing this mindset, you'll not only build resilience but also move closer to the person you aspire to be. Epictetus's words encourage us to let go of the need for external validation and instead focus on the internal rewards of growth and self-improvement. Now, let's turn our attention to the transformative power of gratitude and how it can shape our discipline. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, offers a profound reminder: when you arise in the morning, give thanks for the morning light, for your life and strength. At its core, this quote is an invitation to start each day with a mindset of appreciation. But how does gratitude connect to self-discipline? It's all about focus. Gratitude shifts our attention away from what we lack or the challenges we face, and instead directs it toward what we already have and what truly matters. This mental shift is crucial for building self-discipline because it helps us maintain perspective and stay grounded in our values. Think about it. When we're focused on gratitude, we're less likely to be distracted by trivial frustrations or tempted by impulsive desires. Instead, we're reminded of the bigger picture: our health, our opportunities, and the people who support us. This sense of clarity naturally strengthens our ability to make disciplined choices. For example, imagine waking up and immediately feeling thankful for your ability to move, breathe, and think. That simple act of gratitude can set the tone for the entire day, making it easier to prioritize tasks that align with your goals rather than getting sidetracked by minor setbacks or distractions. Marcus Aurelius's words encourage us to cultivate this habit daily. By starting each morning with gratitude, we train ourselves to focus on the essentials and approach our responsibilities with purpose and determination. To apply this in your own life, try keeping a gratitude journal or simply taking a few moments each morning to reflect on what you're thankful for. Over time, you'll find that this practice not only enhances your self-discipline, but also brings a deeper sense of fulfillment to your daily routine. Gratitude, as Marcus Aurelius teaches us, isn't just a feeling. It's a tool for shaping a more disciplined and meaningful life. Shifting our focus to the power of patience, let's explore how Seneca's wisdom on delayed gratification can transform our approach to self-discipline. Seneca, one of Stoicism's most influential thinkers, offers this insight: the greatest remedy for anger is delay. At first glance, this might seem like a simple piece of advice for managing emotions, but it goes much deeper. Seneca is highlighting the value of pausing before reacting. a practice that applies not just to anger but to all areas of life. When we delay gratification, we're exercising self-discipline by resisting the urge to act on immediate impulses, whether it's anger, desire, or frustration. Think about it. How often do we act on something in the heat of the moment, only to regret it later? Seneca's quote reminds us that taking a step back allows us to respond with clarity and purpose rather than reacting out of emotion. This principle is especially relevant in our modern world, where instant gratification is so readily available. From impulsive purchases to scrolling endlessly on social media, we're constantly tempted to seek quick rewards. But Stoicism teaches us that true fulfillment comes from mastering our impulses and focusing on long-term goals. For example, imagine you're tempted to skip a workout or indulge in unhealthy food. By applying Seneca's advice, you pause and remind yourself of your larger objectives, your health, your energy, and your sense of accomplishment. That moment of delay becomes a powerful act of self-discipline, helping you make choices that align with your values rather than fleeting desires. Seneca's words encourage us to embrace the pause, to see it not as a hindrance but as a tool for growth. By practicing delayed gratification, we strengthen our ability to stay focused, make thoughtful decisions, and ultimately live a more intentional life. To incorporate this into your daily routine, try this simple exercise. The next time you feel the urge to act impulsively, take a deep breath and wait for just a few moments. Use that time to reflect on whether your action aligns with your long-term goals. Over time, this small habit can build into a powerful practice of self-discipline, helping you navigate life's challenges with greater ease and wisdom. Seneca's timeless advice reminds us that sometimes the best action is to wait. Turning our attention inward, Epictetus offers a profound reminder about the role of self-reflection in cultivating self-discipline. His words, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do," invite us to pause and consider our deepest intentions before taking action. At its core, this quote emphasizes the importance of clarity and purpose. Before we can act with discipline, we must first understand who we aspire to be and what we truly value. Self-reflection becomes the bridge between our present state and our future goals, allowing us to align our actions with our ideals. Think about it. How often do we move through life on autopilot, reacting to circumstances without thought or intention? Epictetus challenges us to break this cycle by taking a moment to define our direction. This act of self-reflection is not just a mental exercise, it's a disciplined practice that requires honesty and courage. It forces us to confront our weaknesses, acknowledge our strengths, and take responsibility for our growth. For example, if you aspire to be more patient, self-reflection might reveal moments when you've fallen short. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward change. But Epictetus doesn't stop at self-awareness. He urges us to follow through with action, to do what you have to do. Self-discipline, then, is not just about thinking but about translating those thoughts into consistent, purposeful behavior. This could mean setting boundaries, forming new habits, or letting go of distractions that pull us away from our goals. In a world filled with noise and demands, Epictetus's wisdom reminds us that self-reflection is a quiet yet powerful tool. It helps us cut through the chaos, focus on what truly matters, and take deliberate steps toward becoming the best version of ourselves. To put this into practice, consider starting each day with a moment of reflection. Ask yourself, who do I want to be today, and what actions will bring me closer to that ideal? Over time, this simple habit can deepen your self-awareness and strengthen your self-discipline, guiding you toward a life of intention and fulfillment. Epictetus's timeless advice serves as a call to action, reminding us that the path to self-discipline begins with a single, honest conversation with ourselves. Shifting our focus, let's dive into the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, who offers a striking metaphor for life. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. At first glance, this might seem stark, but it carries a profound message about patience and discipline. Wrestling, unlike dancing, is not about grace or ease. It's about endurance, strategy, and persistence. It's a battle where every move requires effort, focus, and a willingness to face resistance head-on. Aurelius reminds us that life, particularly the pursuit of long-term goals, is not always smooth or predictable. It demands resilience and a disciplined mindset to navigate challenges and setbacks. Think about it. When we set out to achieve something meaningful, whether it's building a career, improving a skill, or nurturing a relationship, we often encounter obstacles. These moments test our patience and commitment. Aurelius's metaphor encourages us to embrace these struggles as part of the process. Instead of expecting things to flow effortlessly, we should prepare for the effort required to overcome difficulties. This perspective shifts our approach to self-discipline. It's not just about staying on track when things are easy, it's about pushing forward when they're hard. Patience in this context becomes a form of strength. It's the ability to stay grounded and focused, even when progress feels slow or the path ahead seems unclear. For instance, imagine working toward a major goal, like writing a book or starting a business. There will be days when inspiration is lacking or obstacles seem insurmountable. In those moments, Aurelius's words remind us that the struggle itself is valuable. It's through wrestling with these challenges that we grow stronger and more capable. This doesn't mean life is devoid of joy or beauty. Rather, it's a call to appreciate the effort and growth that come from facing difficulties with patience and discipline. To apply this in your own life, consider reframing how you view obstacles. Instead of seeing them as barriers, see them as opportunities to build resilience. Approach your goals with the mindset of a wrestler, determined, strategic, and unafraid of the fight. Over time, this disciplined approach will not only help you achieve your goals, but also deepen your sense of purpose and fulfillment. Aurelius's metaphor is a powerful reminder that the art of living, like wrestling, is about embracing the struggle and emerging stronger on the other side. Moving forward, let's turn our attention to Seneca's advice on the importance of mindful relationships. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. This simple yet profound statement highlights the role self-discipline plays in choosing the company we keep. Relationships, after all, are not just about companionship. They shape our thoughts, habits, and ultimately our character. Seneca urges us to be intentional about who we allow into our inner circle, recognizing that the people around us can either lift us up or pull us down. Self-discipline in this context means being selective. It's about resisting the temptation to surround ourselves with individuals who may offer comfort but little growth. Instead, we must seek out those who challenge us, inspire us, and hold us accountable. Think about it. When you spend time with someone who is disciplined, ambitious, or wise, their qualities tend to rub off on you. Conversely, being around negative or complacent influences can slowly erode your own motivation and focus. Seneca's words remind us that relationships are a form of investment. Just as we carefully choose where to invest our time and energy, we should also invest in people who help us become better versions of ourselves. This doesn't mean cutting off everyone who doesn't meet this standard. Rather, it's about prioritizing those relationships that align with your values and goals. For instance, if you're working on self-discipline in your career, seek out mentors or peers who demonstrate professionalism and drive. If you're focused on personal growth, surround yourself with individuals who encourage introspection and continuous learning. Applying this principle requires honesty and courage. It means evaluating your current relationships and, if necessary, setting boundaries or distancing yourself from toxic influences. It also means being the kind of person others would want to associate with, someone who brings value and positivity into their lives. Seneca's quote serves as a reminder that self-discipline extends beyond individual habits. It's about curating an environment that supports your growth, and that includes the people you choose to share your life with. By making mindful choices in your relationships, you create a foundation for long-term success and fulfillment. The next time you evaluate your social circle, ask yourself, are these the people who help me grow? If the answer isn't clear, it might be time to make some intentional changes. Now, let's shift our focus to Epictetus, who offers a powerful insight into resilience with his words. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This statement is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, emphasizing that while we can't always control external events, we have complete control over our responses. Resilience, in this sense, isn't just about enduring hardships, it's about choosing how we face them, and that's where self-discipline comes into play. Think about it, life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. What separates those who thrive from those who crumble is often their ability to respond with intentionality and composure. Epictetus reminds us that our reactions are a reflection of our inner strength, and cultivating that strength requires discipline. It's about training yourself to pause, reflect, and choose a response rather than simply reacting out of emotion. For instance, when faced with a setback, a disciplined mind might see it as an opportunity to learn and grow, while an undisciplined one might spiral into frustration or despair. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine. Instead, it's about acknowledging your feelings while still taking purposeful action. Building resilience through self-discipline also involves preparation. Epictetus often encouraged practicing adversity in advance, a concept known as premeditatio malorum, or negative visualization. By imagining potential challenges and rehearsing how you'd respond, you strengthen your ability to remain calm and focused when those challenges arise. This practice is a form of mental discipline, training your mind to handle stress with clarity and resolve. Resilience, then, isn't something you're born with, it's a skill you develop. And like any skill, it requires consistent effort and self-control. It's about choosing to respond with courage when faced with fear, with patience in the face of frustration, and with perseverance when obstacles seem insurmountable. Epictetus's quote serves as a powerful reminder that self-discipline is the foundation of resilience. By mastering your reactions, you not only navigate life's challenges more effectively, but also grow stronger with each one. So the next time you encounter difficulty, pause and ask yourself, how will I choose to respond? The answer lies in the discipline you've cultivated. Turning our attention to Marcus Aurelius, we find another profound teaching that ties directly to self-discipline. He tells us to concentrate every minute on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. At its core, this quote is about focus, the ability to direct your attention fully to the task at hand. But it's not just about working harder or longer, it's about working with intention. Marcus Aurelius is reminding us that self-discipline isn't just about controlling actions, it's about mastering your mind. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. From the constant buzz of notifications to the endless stream of information online, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. That's where focus becomes essential. When you concentrate on the present moment, you're able to give your best effort to whatever you're doing, whether it's a work project, a personal goal, or even a simple conversation. This kind of focus requires discipline. It means saying no to distractions even when they're tempting. It means resisting the urge to multitask, which often leads to doing many things poorly rather than one thing well. And it means committing to the task with genuine seriousness, as Marcus Aurelius says. This doesn't imply that you should approach life with a grim or heavy attitude. Instead, it's about treating every moment as an opportunity to practice mindfulness and intentionality. Think of it this way, when you focus on what's in front of you, you're not just completing a task, you're strengthening your ability to stay present. Over time, this practice builds a deeper sense of self-discipline. You become more aware of your priorities, and you're better equipped to allocate your time and energy effectively. This is especially important when pursuing long-term goals. Achieving something meaningful often requires sustained effort, and that's only possible when you can maintain focus over time. Marcus Aurelius's words serve as a reminder that self-discipline isn't just about grand gestures or dramatic acts of willpower. It's found in the small, everyday moments when you choose to concentrate on what's important. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed or distracted, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, what's in front of me right now, and how can I approach it with focus and seriousness? By doing so, you're not just getting things done, you're cultivating the kind of disciplined mindset that leads to lasting success. Moving forward, let's explore Seneca's wisdom on the art of overcoming distractions. He famously said, "Life is long if you know how to use it." At first glance, this might seem contradictory in a world where we often feel pressed for time. But what Seneca is really pointing to is the value of intentional living. Life feels long when we use it wisely, when we direct our energy toward what truly matters instead of scattering it on distractions. Distractions, whether they come in the form of social media, unnecessary tasks, or even trivial worries, have a way of stealing our time and focus. Seneca's message is clear. The length of your life isn't just measured in years, but in how you choose to spend each moment. Overcoming distractions requires self-discipline. It means recognizing what's worth your attention and what isn't. It's about making a conscious decision to avoid the things that pull you away from your goals and values. Think about it this way: every time you give in to a distraction, you're essentially handing over a piece of your life, a moment you'll never get back. Seneca reminds us that life is abundant when we use it with purpose. This doesn't mean you have to eliminate all forms of leisure or relaxation. Instead, it's about being selective. It's about knowing when to engage in activities that recharge you and when to say no to those that only drain your time and focus. By practicing this kind of discipline, you're not just avoiding distractions, you're reclaiming your life. You're ensuring that your time is spent on what's meaningful, whether that's pursuing a passion, building relationships, or working toward personal growth. Seneca's insight invites us to ask ourselves, am I using my time in a way that aligns with my priorities, or am I letting distractions dictate my days? The answer to that question can be a powerful motivator for cultivating self-discipline. So, the next time you feel pulled away from what truly matters, remember Seneca's words. Life is long, but only if you know how to use it wisely. Now, let's turn our attention to Epictetus and his profound insight on self-mastery. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." At its core, this quote challenges the common notion of freedom. Many of us think of freedom as the ability to do whatever we want, whenever we want. But Epictetus flips this idea on its head. True freedom, he argues, isn't about external circumstances, it's about inner control. If you're ruled by impulses, desires, or distractions, are you really free? Or are you enslaved by your own lack of discipline? Self-mastery is the foundation of personal freedom. It's about having the strength to say no to temptations, the clarity to focus on what matters, and the resilience to stay committed to your values even when it's difficult. Think of it this way: every time you let a craving, a habit, or an emotion dictate your actions, you're surrendering a piece of your freedom. But when you exercise self-discipline, you take that power back. You become the author of your own life, rather than a character at the mercy of external forces. This doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or make mistakes. Self-mastery isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about consistently choosing to align your actions with your principles, even when it's uncomfortable. And here's the beautiful part: the more you practice this kind of discipline, the freer you become. You stop being controlled by fleeting desires or societal pressures. Instead, you live with intention and purpose, guided by your own values. Epictetus's words invite us to reflect. Am I truly free, or am I allowing my impulses to dictate my choices? Self-discipline isn't a restriction, it's a liberation. It's the key to unlocking a life where you're in charge of your decisions, your time, and your destiny. So, the next time you're faced with a choice, remember that every act of self-discipline is a step toward greater freedom. Moving forward, let's reflect on Marcus Aurelius and his timeless wisdom on consistency. He once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This quote cuts straight to the heart of self-discipline, action over words. It's easy to spend hours debating what it means to be virtuous, disciplined, or successful. But Marcus Aurelius challenges us to stop theorizing and start doing. Self-discipline isn't about perfect definitions or endless planning, it's about consistent, deliberate action. Every day, you have the opportunity to live in alignment with your values. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic changes. It's about the small, steady choices you make day after day. Think of it like building a wall, brick by brick. Each act of discipline, no matter how small, contributes to the foundation of your character. Consistency transforms intention into reality. It's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. And here's the key: consistency requires self-discipline. It's easy to start strong, but staying the course when motivation fades or obstacles arise, that's where true discipline shines. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that the measure of a person isn't found in what they say, but in what they do. So ask yourself, are you spending more time talking about who you want to be or actually becoming that person? Each moment is a chance to choose action over hesitation, progress over procrastination. By committing to consistency, you're not just building habits, you're shaping your identity. You're proving to yourself and the world that you're someone who follows through, no matter how challenging the path may be. Remember, self-discipline isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous practice, a daily decision to show up and do the work. So, take Marcus Aurelius's advice to heart. Stop debating, start doing. Be the person you aspire to be, one consistent action at a time. Now, let's turn our attention to Seneca and his profound insight into bravery and freedom. He once said, "He who is brave is free." At first glance, this might seem like a statement about courage in the face of danger. But dig deeper, and you'll find it's actually a powerful lesson on self-awareness and self-discipline. True bravery isn't just about facing external threats, it's about confronting the internal ones. It's about having the discipline to look inward, to understand your fears, your desires, and your shortcomings. Seneca reminds us that freedom doesn't come from external circumstances, but from mastering ourselves. Self-awareness is the first step in this process. It's the ability to see yourself clearly, to recognize your patterns, and to take responsibility for your actions. But self-awareness alone isn't enough. It's bravery, the willingness to act on that awareness, that sets you free. Think about it. How often do we know what we should do but hesitate out of fear or doubt? Self-discipline bridges that gap. It's what allows us to act bravely even when it's uncomfortable. It's what helps us break free from the habits, assumptions, and fears that hold us back. Seneca's words challenge us to ask ourselves, are we truly free, or are we enslaved by our own lack of self-discipline? Freedom isn't something you're given. It's something you earn through the daily practice of self-awareness and courage. By cultivating these qualities, you're not just improving your life, you're claiming your independence. So, the next time you're faced with a difficult decision or a moment of self-doubt, remember Seneca's wisdom. Be brave, be self-aware, and in doing so, you'll find the freedom that comes from mastering yourself. Moving forward, let's explore the wisdom of Epictetus, who offers a guiding principle for cultivating inner peace and self-discipline. He said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." This quote is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, emphasizing the importance of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. Acceptance, as Epictetus teaches, isn't about passive resignation. It's about actively recognizing the boundaries of our influence and channeling our energy where it truly matters. Think about it. How often do we waste time and mental energy worrying about outcomes that are beyond our control? The weather, other people's opinions, or unexpected setbacks, these are all things we can't dictate. But what we can control is our response. This is where self-discipline comes into play. Acceptance requires us to pause, assess, and choose where to direct our efforts. It's about practicing restraint over our impulses to resist or obsess over the uncontrollable. When we embrace this mindset, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and frustration. Instead of fighting against the tide, we learn to navigate it with grace and focus. This doesn't mean we stop striving for improvement or ignore challenges. Rather, it means we approach life with a clear understanding of our limits and a disciplined commitment to making the most of what's within our power. Epictetus reminds us that true freedom lies in this kind of acceptance. It's a skill that takes practice, but one that ultimately leads to a more resilient and peaceful way of living. So, the next time you're faced with a situation you can't change, take a moment to reflect on Epictetus's words. Make the best use of your power and let the rest unfold as it will. In doing so, you'll not only strengthen your self-discipline, but also find a deeper sense of tranquility in the face of life's uncertainties. Now, let's turn to Marcus Aurelius, who offers a profound perspective on humility and its connection to self-discipline. He said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." At first glance, this might seem like a statement about retribution, but in Stoic philosophy, it's a call to rise above pettiness and ego. Humility, as Marcus Aurelius teaches us, isn't about self-deprecation or weakness. It's about strength, self-control, and the disciplined choice to act with integrity, even when others do not. Think about it. When someone wrongs us, our instinct might be to retaliate or seek revenge. But Marcus Aurelius challenges us to resist that impulse. Instead, he encourages us to focus on our own character and actions. Why? Because true power lies in our ability to remain composed, kind, and virtuous, regardless of how others behave. This isn't easy. It takes immense self-discipline to resist the urge to lash out or stoop to someone else's level. Humility, in this context, is about recognizing that our worth isn't determined by how others treat us, but by how we choose to respond. It's about understanding that the most effective way to win is to stay true to our principles. This doesn't mean we ignore injustice or allow others to take advantage of us. Rather, it means we address conflict with calmness and clarity, refusing to let someone else's negativity dictate our behavior. Marcus Aurelius's wisdom reminds us that self-discipline is the foundation of humility. When we practice it, we not only protect our peace of mind, but also set an example of strength and dignity. So, the next time you're faced with a situation where you feel wronged, pause and reflect on these words. Choose to be unlike the person who hurt you. In doing so, you'll not only honor your own values, but also cultivate a deeper sense of inner freedom and resilience. Shifting our focus to inner peace, Seneca offers a timeless reminder with his words, "The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach." This quote encapsulates a core Stoic idea that true happiness and fulfillment aren't found in external possessions or achievements, but within ourselves. Inner peace, as Seneca teaches, is not something we need to chase or acquire from the outside. It's already within us, waiting to be unlocked through disciplined effort. Think about it. How often do we look for happiness in things like wealth, status, or approval from others? Stoicism challenges us to redirect that energy inward. The key lies in recognizing that our thoughts, emotions, and responses are the source of our peace or our turmoil. This requires self-discipline because it's easier to blame external circumstances than to take responsibility for our inner state. Seneca's wisdom invites us to practice self-awareness and control. By focusing on what we can control, our mindset, our choices, and our reactions, we cultivate a sense of calm and stability, even in the face of life's unpredictability. Inner peace doesn't mean we're free from challenges or discomfort. Rather, it's about maintaining a centered and resilient mindset no matter what happens around us. This is where Stoic practices like journaling, meditation, or reflection come into play. They help us detach from external chaos and connect with the tranquility within. Seneca's quote also highlights the importance of moderation. Often, our pursuit of external goals, whether it's more money, more success, or more recognition, can create unnecessary stress and dissatisfaction. By practicing discipline in our desires, we learn to appreciate what we already have and find contentment in the present moment. Ultimately, Seneca's message is empowering. It reminds us that inner peace is not a distant goal but a daily practice. It's about choosing to focus on the blessings within us rather than constantly seeking validation or fulfillment from the outside world. So take a moment today to reflect on this idea. What steps can you take to nurture your inner peace? By embracing self-discipline and turning your attention inward, you'll discover that the greatest blessings are already within your reach. As we move into our final Stoic insight, Epictetus offers a powerful directive for living a meaningful life. Know first who you are and then adorn yourself accordingly. This quote cuts to the heart of self-discipline by emphasizing the importance of self-awareness and purpose. Before we can align our actions with our goals, we must first understand who we truly are. This requires honesty and introspection, two practices that demand disciplined effort. It's easy to get caught up in external expectations or societal pressures, but Stoicism reminds us that fulfillment comes from living in accordance with our authentic selves. When we take the time to reflect on our values, strengths, and passions, we gain clarity on our purpose. This clarity, in turn, guides our decisions and actions, helping us stay focused on what truly matters. Epictetus challenges us to adorn ourselves, not with superficial achievements or material possessions, but with the virtues and principles that define us. This is where self-discipline plays a crucial role. Aligning our lives with our purpose often means making difficult choices, saying no to distractions, resisting temptations, and prioritizing long-term growth over short-term gratification. It's about consistently choosing actions that reflect our true selves, even when it's easier to conform or take the path of least resistance. Purpose, as Epictetus teaches, isn't something we stumble upon by chance. It's something we cultivate through deliberate and disciplined effort. By knowing who we are and staying true to that identity, we create a life of integrity and meaning. So take a moment to ask yourself, who am I, and how can I live in alignment with my purpose? When you commit to this journey of self-discovery and disciplined action, you'll find that your life becomes not only more purposeful but also more fulfilling. Now that we've explored these timeless Stoic quotes, let's see how we can bring their wisdom into our modern, everyday lives. Self-discipline isn't just an ancient concept, it's a vital tool for navigating the challenges of today. At work, for example, Marcus Aurelius's focus on perseverance can help us tackle tough projects with determination. Instead of getting overwhelmed by deadlines or setbacks, remind yourself that obstacles are opportunities to grow. Break tasks into manageable steps and commit to consistent effort, no matter how small. This disciplined approach not only boosts productivity, but also builds confidence in your ability to handle challenges. In relationships, Epictetus's advice on emotional regulation can be a game changer. When conflicts arise, pause and reflect before reacting. Ask yourself, what's within my control here? By choosing thoughtful responses over impulsive ones, you'll foster healthier, more meaningful connections. Even in personal goals, Seneca's emphasis on habits can guide us. Want to get fit, learn a new skill, or save money? Start by building small, daily routines that align with your aspirations. Over time, these disciplined habits compound into lasting change. Remember, self-discipline doesn't mean perfection, it's about progress. When distractions or temptations pull you off course, use these Stoic principles as your compass. Whether it's managing your time, staying calm under pressure, or pursuing your passions, these quotes offer practical strategies to help you thrive in the modern world. So take what resonates with you, apply it in your daily life, and watch how self-discipline transforms not just what you achieve, but who you become. Now that we've seen how Stoic quotes can guide our daily lives, let's dive into some practical exercises to strengthen self-discipline. One powerful Stoic practice is negative visualization. This involves imagining the worst-case scenarios in your life, not to dwell on them, but to prepare your mind for challenges. By visualizing potential setbacks, you reduce fear and build resilience, making it easier to stay disciplined even in tough situations. Another effective tool is journaling. Marcus Aurelius himself was a dedicated journal keeper, using his writings to reflect on his thoughts and actions. Spend a few minutes each day writing about your progress, challenges, and how you've applied Stoic principles. This self-reflection helps you stay focused and reinforces your commitment to self-discipline. Additionally, try the practice of voluntary discomfort. This means intentionally stepping out of your comfort zone, whether it's skipping a luxury, waking up earlier, or taking on a difficult task. These small acts of self-denial train your mind to resist temptations and strengthen your willpower. Finally, practice mindfulness by focusing on the present moment. Stoics believed that much of our suffering comes from worrying about the past or future. By staying grounded in the here and now, you'll find it easier to make disciplined choices. These exercises aren't about punishment, they're about building mental strength and clarity. Start small, stay consistent, and you'll see how these Stoic practices transform your ability to stay disciplined in every area of life. Now, let's tackle some of the most common challenges people face when trying to build self-discipline and how Stoicism can help. One major obstacle is procrastination. We often put off tasks because they feel overwhelming or unpleasant. Stoics would advise breaking these tasks into smaller, manageable steps. By focusing on what you can do right now rather than the entire project, you reduce anxiety and make it easier to take action. Another common issue is lack of motivation. When we rely solely on feeling motivated, we're at the mercy of our emotions. Instead, Stoicism teaches us to act out of duty and commitment regardless of how we feel. As Marcus Aurelius said, do what's necessary even if your heart isn't in it. This mindset helps you stay disciplined even when motivation is low. Distractions are another challenge in our modern world. The Stoic practice of mindfulness can help here. By training yourself to focus on the present moment, you can resist the pull of distractions and stay committed to your goals. Fear of failure is another hurdle. Stoicism encourages us to view setbacks as opportunities for growth, not as reasons to give up. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Finally, many struggle with self-doubt. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts and actions, and let go of external judgments. By building confidence through small, consistent actions, you'll strengthen your self-discipline over time. These Stoic principles don't just address the symptoms of these challenges, they help you build the mental resilience needed to overcome them for good. As we wrap up this exploration of 25 Stoic quotes on self-discipline, it's clear that the wisdom of Stoicism offers more than just philosophical insights. It provides practical tools for navigating life's challenges. From Epictetus's emphasis on self-control to Marcus Aurelius's calls for inner strength and Seneca's lessons on habits, these teachings remind us that self-discipline is not about perfection but about progress. Each quote we've discussed serves as a guidepost, helping us focus on what we can control, build resilience, and live with purpose. The beauty of Stoicism is its timeless relevance. These principles, crafted centuries ago, still resonate deeply in our modern world, offering clarity and direction amidst the chaos. Whether you're struggling with procrastination, distractions, or self-doubt, the Stoic approach encourages you to take small, consistent steps toward growth. So, as you move forward, take a moment to reflect on these quotes and how they can apply to your own life. Start with one idea, one practice, and build from there. And remember, self-discipline is a journey, not a destination. If you found these quotes helpful, let us know in the comments. Share which one resonated with you the most or how you've applied Stoic principles in your life. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content like this, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together, let's continue to cultivate the self-discipline needed to live with intention, purpose, and peace. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay strong and stay stoic.